Welcome to Aaron Plays, assisted by Mark. This will be episode 4 of our playthrough of the Rising Eagles, Austerlitz 1805, with Mark playing the Coalition, myself playing the French. We're in the 7 a.m. turn, and we've had so far 5 activations by the Coalition. They have 3 more to go before I can activate Davouts for the second time, which would then conclude the 7 a.m. turn. So over to you, Mark.
Greetings, everybody, and jolly exciting it is too.
Jolly exciting. Yeah. Jolly.
Right, so 3 activations left, and they're all automatic activations. I don't have to roll under the leader value for them, the leadership value. So let's see. I think just zoom out a little so I can see what I'm doing. My next activation will be the 3rd column, which is just east of Pratzer.
These boys here. Okay.
So there's 3. You can see 3 counters, can't you, Aaron, for the 3rd column, because they're not.
Okay.
You don't exactly know where they are yet. So they are going to activate next. Let me see. Firstly, I'm just checking their order just to remind myself. Yeah. They have a geographical order set.
Geographical order will be one of these markers here.
And off they go. So that's the first. This guy is on a track, so he's going to move forward. In fact, it's on a road, but it turns into a track.
Yeah. So it will class as a track all the way through because you're not using the whole movement along the road.
I'll move him. So he's moved 4.
Technically, you could move 5.
In which case we will.
Oh, that's it. That's what we like to see. An aggressive move. Come into the parlour, said the spider to the fly.
And that one moves into occupied Pratzer itself, the village. So that formation is now activated. So I'm marking each of the leadership counters. Oh, has that one not worked? Yeah, there we go. They're all activated.
Okay, so that's your 2nd activation. Well, 6th activation
of the turn. Next one will be the 4th column, who are around Star Vinhadri. I don't know how you pronounce that. I'll be crucifying it. Star Vinhadri. Vinohadri. The hill. I wish I knew how to pronounce it, but I don't. Okay, so we've got 3 unit counters for this formation. One, 2, 3. Not using the road, so he moves 3 hexes. Again. This last one is on a road. 2, 3, 4, 5. So let me just mark them as activated. There we go.
Okay. And your last one?
Last one will be the advanced guard. I've saved the best till last. The advanced guard are on the way to Austerlitz. So let me just zoom in a bit there.
This is the advanced guard here.
And if you go to the orders window rather, you can see the advanced guard and the first column have had to share their order with the French because they are within visual range. So
what about your second column that are attacking Koblenitz?
Say again?
Your second column wasn't attacking Koblenitz. Their orders haven't been revealed.
Oh, good point. Let me unmask that for you. There you go.
Okay. That'd have been funny if that turned out to be a dummy, wouldn't it? You made an error.
Yeah. Well, we would have had to restart. What's 4 videos between friends? It would have become a solo play for you, wouldn't it, at that point? So
what's the rules in these orders? When do they get revealed? When they're leaders within hexes, isn't it, or 4?
it's within visual range, I believe.
Visual range. Right.
Regular visual range. It's usually 4 hexes, but of course we can't see each other until we're within 2. Now, second column, you'll note, not second column, first column, you've seen those, but you've since withdrawn your forces away from them. So even though you're 3 hexes away now, I could probably hide them again, but there's not much point because you know they're there. So the advanced guard are within 2 hexes of Austerlitz. But I've got a sticky situation tactically now. I want to take Austerlitz and I want to explore that bridge, or at least defend the bridge. They're not the biggest formation. I've got the advanced guard, so it's going to be a tough nut to crack with two big French regiments. The third line are in there, or rather maybe 2 battalions of the same regiment. But one's a veteran unit with a quality of 8, and one is a kind of what I would term a line regiment with a quality of 7. So between them, we've got 16 steps, which is pretty big and not easy to shift. So what I'm going to try with this one is a slightly different strategy, I think.
Silent.
Pardon?
All gone quiet.
Yeah, I'm going to move Kindmere with his infantry and a horse battery adjacent to the third line.
Okay.
Now, the horse battery can do that. They can move adjacent because they're with friendly infantry. They could also do that if they were with friendly cavalry. Foot artillery cannot move adjacent to an enemy infantry formation. Next. Further infantry forces will move on to the high ground just to the southeast of Austerlitz. Next. What to do with this cavalry? Okay. This first stack of cavalry move to there, cross the bridge. And then within their orders, they have to either maintain or move closer to their objective, maintain the current distance or move closer, or can move freely within 3 hexes of their objective hex. So they've done that for this this turn. And the horse battery, 3, 4, 5, 6, joins the cavalry to threaten the chasseurs on the other side of the bridge, which leaves 2 regiments of cavalry. Now I'll just put them back. There's not much I can do with them because of this frozen stream, which is well covered by French guns and French light troops at Sokolnets. At Telnets, we're still fighting the infantry battle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reinforce my cavalry on the flank to there. If we manage to break over the bridge, I've got an opportunity I can move them forward. Or if the French manage to get across the bridge, I've got an opportunity I can help to defend that location. So what we'll do now is I'll do the final activation for Chimera. Now, are we going to attack? And I don't think we are. I think we're going to try and use the guns for a turn to try and shift the 3rd line out of there. It would be odds, even odds, a kind of even odds attack. We've got slightly more troops, but the French are defending good terrain, being in the buildings, and they've got slightly better troops, slightly better quality troops. Some veterans in there. So there will be no melee declaration.
And as there's no melee declaration, I don't get a defensive fire.
Correct.
Still about.
And that's the last of the allied activations for this turn. So it's now back to Davouts.
Well, just to emphasize what's actually sort of going on in and around Telnets, with each of these hexes is 250 meters. So by you moving up, but you're effectively still 250 meters away because you haven't declared a melee to encroach closer. And as we know with muskets, they didn't have that kind of range. I mean, we're talking about 100 yards sort of maximum for an effective volley, if not closer. So we're not even in volley range here. Once we actually do declare that we're doing an assault or a melee, it is actually the units moving to within that firing range and also engaging in the musket fights. It's not necessarily bayonets to the wall. It's literally the engagement beyond that. Couldn't fire the artillery either because your artillery fire is done first before you actually start moving. So, okay. So over to Davouts.
Yeah.
Well, I ain't going to be charging across the bridge. I don't like the fact you brought that nasty artillery battery across forward. It's a bit rude.
Rude.
So, but I can fire. So the 3rd line.
Yep. In your offensive fire phase. So just to remind everyone, it goes orders first. Offensive fire segment, then movement. So the 3rd line can
offensive fire segment. The 3rd line will fire. It's only the top unit can fire. Won't fire up the slope. It will fire at the general with his 2nd activation. So he's got a fire value. I need quite low on 2 dice. I think it's 5 and below for infantry fire. There it goes. A 12. Just over their heads.
I think the fog is playing its part. It must have rolled in, a thick bank will have rolled in, and you've added to it with your musketry smoke.
Okay. Whatever floats your boat. Right.
It's all about narrative for me.
It's all about the narrative. Absolutely. Now, my gun battery on the hill with Davouts, again, I'm on defense orders. I can only move that one hex, as we did last time, because he's now within 4 hexes of your guys. So I will move it 1 hex, and I'll move it to there.
Oh, ballsy move.
Well, means I can start shooting at your guys who are now 2 hexes. Oh, look, there's Austrians. Davout himself. Do I move into Telnitz with him? No.
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 He's not running around like a wet hen, is he?
He's
fairly steadfast.
Okay, so my 8th Hussards. Now I've done all the moves I want to do declaration-wise. Now I want to try for the independent movement for the 8th Hussards. So they've got to pass a morale check. Morale or quality check. The quality is 8.
Yeah.
Okay, they do that. So they can do half movement, which will be 1, 2, 3 there. I didn't fancy you strolling across the river with your infantry.
You've figured out my master plan.
So I think that is. Do I attack you? I don't think so. No need. Okay. Interesting. Can't flip that.
What you wanting to do? Flip? You wanting to flip a counter?
No, the activation 1s don't become automatically activation 2s on the reverse side.
Yeah, you pulled that one off, didn't you, from the pieces? Yeah.
Okay, so that's all the activations done. Now, so that ends that part of the turn. The next part of the turn is strategical movement.
There is none
allowed this turn. No strategic movement segment for the French.
Is that what it says?
Yes.
Oh, but the
So there is strategic movement possibilities for the coalition. What is strategic movement, I hear you all ask?
Aaron, what is strategic movement?
Any officer not activated twice this turn can move once together with any of his units that are within command range. Formation's current orders must be observed. Independent movements are not allowed.
Right.
No, that unit of the formation may start or move within 4 hexes of an enemy unit during this movement. Normally, we'd be able to do this one formation at a time. So I'd do a formation, Mark would do a formation, and we'd alternate. But as the French can't do any formations, it's your rodeo, mate.
Yeah, it is.
Let me zoom out a little bit so everyone can see where you're going and what you're up to.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to move the Russian Guard corps first. So there's 3 counters. They're all in the east across this stream.
Yeah, see them.
So here goes. So the strategic movement is, I believe it's a +2. +1 for a trap, +2 for a road, +2 for strategic movement, but you're not allowed to go in within 4 hexes. Is that? No, I need to check that. Okay, we've checked the rulings on that. For the strategic movement, it's the same actually as the regular movement of other formations. So the first unit is just across the river here, He is on a. He starts his movement on a trail, and you just double check the orders. Okay. 1, 2, 3 for the trail. +1 extra for being on a trail, and +1 for the force not being identified yet. The second counter is not on a trail, he's on a kind of garden path. 1, 2, 3. And the final.
You could still move an extra 1 for there being a hidden counter.
Ah, yes, 4. Thank you. One, 2. No, 1, 2 up on the road there. 3, 4 for the trail, 5 for the hidden counter. So that's them done. I'll mark them as activated. The right wing.
Under the command of Bagration.
It is. They're on the right wing, funnily enough. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. It's very difficult to terrain there, those slope axes. But I'll get him into. He's on the road there, so the slope axe is discounted. I just want to get him into crew for now, so that's fine. So that's their movement finished. The other one isn't moving at the minute. What else have we got? We've got Alexander.
Ah, no, he's an officer. He's a commander, isn't he? Can they move?
Oh yeah. Well, while you check that, I'll have a look at fifth column. If it's purely formations and not officers.
It says any officer not activated, and officers are defined as the guys in command formations, not commanders.
Understood. So I've only got the 5th column left.
Which is your cavalry reserve.
It is.
So you want them right at the front?
Yeah, definitely. So let's see. On the road, I'll start this one on the track. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
Are you done?
That's everybody. That's everyone who hadn't activated previously has now had an activation. Yeah.
Okay.
So now it is.
Now it's a segment, but there is none.
Mm-hmm.
And there's what's called the final segment, where we check for possible victory conditions. We remove all activation markers, so hopefully this will work. I mean, look at that. Ah, it does remove Davouts. Okay, so it only removes the automated ones. Check formation demoralization levels. Well, there's none yet because virtually no casualties. And move the turn marker to the next turn.
I'll do that. Okay. No orders phase.
So no order,
Order
order
change
change
by
by commander.
commander. Now, before we start this new turn, I need to go and water the horses. If you can press pause for a second.
Well, before you do that, I'm actually going to end this video at this point. So
Okay.
we'll start the next term with the next video. So I'll do my end of spiel. So if you enjoyed what you've been watching, please click like and subscribe if not done so already. Any comments much appreciated. Till next time. Bye.